Fans of Breaking Bad will instantly recognize actor RJ Mitte, who played the son of drug kingpin Walter White on the hit show. And like his famous character, RJ also has cerebral palsy, a disorder that affects muscular coordination, speech, and motor skills. RJ has been acting since he was a child, and now he's back on screen in his first lead role. He plays an aspiring high school wrestler in Triumph.
You do know that you can be exempt from PE courses. Cerebral palsy, right?
Yeah. I'm taking weightlifting for wrestling.
Wrestling? Can you wrestle?
Yeah. I used to a little. Anyhow, could you help me out with this?
But it looks like a good, challenging schedule to me. You sure you can handle all this and try to wrestle?
Oh, I like a challenge every now and then.
RJ joins us now from his home in Brownsville, Texas. Welcome to the show, RJ.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, this is such an inspiring story. You play Mike. It's an actual character based on a real wrestler with cerebral palsy. Terrence Howard plays your coach, but looking at that clip, you know, Mike is talking about liking a challenge and whether he was ready for that challenge. For you, RJ, we know you from Breaking Bad. What made you know you were ready for this challenge to lead an actual film?
You know, it was a very challenging film, but the story itself was so unique and had so much value that I really wanted to do it justice the best I could and make it happen. You know, so many stories like this never get told. They never see the light of day even after they get made. And this was a project that I believed in. And the writer, Michael Coffey, who has cerebral palsy, this is his life. This is his story and his journey and kind of what he saw a future for himself as when he was a kid. And I think that just is such an important aspect to kids around the world facing these challenges, and not just disability, but the challenges of life.
Yeah.
And I hope it reflects all that.
Absolutely. You know, you talk about the challenges of life. When you were 12 years old, your mother was in a car accident that left her paralyzed, partially paralyzed. You became the caregiver. Then you became your family's main source of income. You were just 13 years old. Looking back at the success that you have now and those challenges when you were 13, how do you explain it to yourself how you accomplished so much?
Oh, you can't explain it. Like, it's just something you have to do. You know, you mentioned my mom. My mom was in a car accident and was partially paralyzed, couldn't lift anything heavier than a loaf of bread for about 5, 6 years. And this was right after my sister was born. My sister was about 3 months, 2 months old at the time. And so it was hard because she couldn't even lift the baby out of the crib. So it was kind of one of those situations where you have no choice. You either do or die. And I didn't want my life to change. I didn't want our family to change. So it was one of those situations where I just did what I did or what I thought I needed to do to help.
Yeah. You know, which is such a powerful testament to your spirit and your character. I know, as you've talked about, and we've talked right here, how much help you've given to those living with disabilities. I know that Paramount Studios became the latest big studio to commit to auditioning actors with disabilities. You have said that you think anyone should be able to play a role. You think there's still too much focus on getting big stars to play a person with disability rather than an actor who actually has one. How do you get people to understand, for those who may not get the importance of it?
You know, I think we live in a time where accurate representation is key. And that's what the community wants, is they want to feel that they are represented on television and film. And for a long time, we haven't represented the communities properly. We haven't hired, we may have hired the best earner, but we didn't hire the best choice. And I think that's something that we need to be more aware of when we're casting projects, is not go for the dollar or the name, but go for the person who's best for the role.
Right.
And that's not always the case, sadly. But I think times have changed. I've seen a lot of growth when it comes to hiring and just accessibility for individuals, disabled and non-disabled, to get access to the industry, to get access to the auditions. But we still have a long way to go.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Breaking Bad changed television in so many ways. It ended 2013. It's so crazy how long ago that was. But, people want to know, will we see Walt Jr. again?
You never know. The show was a pivotal piece of my life. I started at 13 turning 14. I finished at 20 turning 21. And it still has Better Call Saul and El Camino, so you really don't
Yeah.
know. And I think there's a lot of world left for the Walter White family. I think there's a lot to be told.
I think there's a lot to be told. And if that doesn't work out, you'd be a really cool sports announcer because your headphones is giving Tony Romo a run for his money. So
Oh
there
my
you
God.
go.
Well, it's funny. Every show interview I do, they're always like, "Hey, do you have AirPods?" I'm like, "Yeah, no."
Well, we didn't ask because you look good in your headphones and you look even great as a leading man in your new movie. So congratulations, RJ. We so appreciate you joining us and speaking up on behalf of people with disabilities.
I'm very lucky to have this role in life and to provide opportunities for others. But thank you so much for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. Well, Triumph is available on video on demand this summer.